Mike Costello and friends were out on board the Mirage out of Cisco Sport Fishing in Oxnard, and what a tremendous day's fishing they had. 19 anglers on board, 57 white sea bass. That is limits of white sea bass, along with 14 halibut. The halibut were taking on the white flukes, and the white sea bass on a dropper loop with an Aki Twist 5.0 hook. 16-ounce torpedo sinkers were necessary because of all the wind. Excellent fishing for the Pongueros in Ensenada, Baja California. The San Diego to Seaforth Sport Fishing has 66 bluefin tuna and more yellowfin tuna being taken again today.
Hey, good morning, Friedman Adventures family. Tyler Tanaka, Jig Squad, Mission Bell Mafia. I am talking to you directly from Cedros Island, where I just won the jackpot from our competition. Yes, biggest yellowtail. Anyways, good morning, and I just wanted to give a fish report from Cedros. It was tough fishing, actually, this whole week, but the white sea bass were on the chew. Really unbelievable white sea bass action down here at Cedros, but just wishing everybody a great time this week. I know the tuna are going crazy in San Diego. Just wanted to send best wishes to the whole entire Friedman family. And hope you guys have a great week fishing and are just going to go out and crush it. So, and with that, you know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing.
Please don't forget to support the Friedman Adventures family members who make this all possible, like the taxman, Tim Marquez, and your garage door man, Joe Welker, who does a great job and gets rave reviews here at Friedman Adventures. Heating and or air conditioning needs, it's our dear friend John Lopez, and also the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing. You can't beat it. Chris Isaac and the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org.
Get out of bed and wake up the kids, 'cause you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Fishing reports up and down the coast. Your Phil Friedman, your coffee-loving host. So much fishing intel, it feels like cheating when you tune into the morning briefing. Inshore, offshore, from the surf, bluefin, yellowtail, pod, surf, perch. They'll tell you where the fish are and what they're eating when you tune into the morning briefing. So give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all the fishing content coming your way. Friedman Adventures is here to make your fishing day. It's a morning briefing. Morning briefing.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is so great to be with you all. What a magnificent morning it is here at sunrise. It's already kind of warm. It's getting sunny. It's beautiful, and it's a great time for you to get out into the great outdoors. I hope you saw the video, and if you have not seen it, what a podcast we did with Charles Webb from the Stoke for Life Foundation. Charles is a paraplegic. He was in a horrible motorcycle accident when he was 19 years old, but he didn't let that stop him from coming out into the great outdoors. And you'll learn more about all of that, how you can participate in it. And if you happen to be somebody with a disability, how your life can change for the better by getting out and doing some fishing or doing some surfing, getting out into the great outdoors. Man, the next time I'm sitting around and I'm feeling lazy, like I'm not going to walk outside and go for a walk, I'm going to think about Charles and everything he's overcome. And there's people like that all around us. I was doing a walk the other day. There's a 94-year-old woman just kind of moving slowly, joking about the fact that it's harder to walk than it has been previously, but that she's going to keep doing it. Man, make sure you check this podcast out. There's so many inspiring messages in there, and I know you're going to love it. So check it out as soon as possible. All right, we got to get into the fishing because doggone is it good. There's a lot of great stuff going on, but there's also some windy conditions here in Southern California right now. We're going to talk about our bluefin tuna south of the border here in Southern California. More yellowfin tuna starting to make a show, and our buddy Jeff Lingle got on some of that fish. We're going to talk about what Jeff did. We'll also be talking about the white sea bass bite up there in the Channel Islands in San Francisco. Man, Lovely Martha Sportfishing all over the jumbo halibut, as well as some great fishing on the striped bass. It has been spectacular. The surf and everything else right here. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. So good. Man, I've been hitting this twice every morning with you. I'm going to do it again right now. It's beautiful down here, everybody. I wish you could be here walking with me right now because it's absolutely gorgeous. Excuse me. Oh, man. Great to be with you. And what a podcast that was. I hope you'll check Charles out. Also, I've got to thank Christian Kapulin for this great Occupy Mars shirt, a SpaceX shirt that, man, I absolutely love. And Christian came down. He bought a Freedman Adventures shirt the other day at 22nd Street Landing, where you can pick up hats right now, by the way, at 22nd Street. But Christian came down and brought my wife and I some SpaceX merch. And man, we deeply appreciate it. I know your son is a big fan also, Christian. We send him all our very best. Thank you so very much for your kindness and generosity. It means the world to us. If you don't mind, hit that like button. Share these videos absolutely everywhere. Subscribe to the Freedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that rotten, filthy, despicable, deplorable, smelly little bell, and you'll be notified when there's new content. You can also follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Let's give it the Tootsie. Oh my God, that water is warm. And more warm water rolling in here on the beach. We'll see if all this wind is going to shut that down. We'll be talking about that and the ramifications of the wind and how long that is going to last with you all here on the morning briefing. Let's get into it. There is so much to talk about, my friends. I mean, we've got to go south of the border first of all. And how'd you like Tyler Tanaka? Tyler, good morning to you. Thank you so much for the great intro into the morning briefing from Cedros Island. Cedros has been, as Tyler said, a little bit on the slower side. It's been an auspicious start to the year, at least for yellowtail. They've had some really good white sea bass fishing, some good halibut and calico bass fishing, but the yellowtail bite remains slower down there at Cedros. Something's up, as I've been telling you, in our oceanography. And when we get different oceanography, we start to get different fish. And man, one other thing, that yellowfin is starting to make a little bit of a statement that we need to talk about. In fact, I'm going to take you down with Jeff Lingle. Jeff was fishing down there around San Quintin. Now that's 140 miles below the border. There's great yellowtail action going on down there right now with Chiflo Flores and Tiburon Pongas, and all the other operators down there are putting the wood to the yellowtail. Really great fishing. Now offshore, there's bluefin tuna and some really good hits on the BFT. Inshore, superior yellowtail fishing. Jeff Lingle on his recent trip had 10 bluefin tuna. Now he's running a yacht, don't forget, so he doesn't have all that many passengers on board. 10 bluefin, 5 of them over 100 pounds, 4 yellowfin tuna, for Jeff. In fact, he was fishing yellowtail, and just outside of where he was fishing yellows down there at 140 miles is where he had those 4 yellowfin. Lost another one at Gaff, so that is also breaking news and very interesting. And he caught a couple of halibut in and along the beach. So San Quintin showing great signals and signs, whether you're going down there to fish on a ponga or you're going to be fishing offshore. Things are really looking good. And Ensenada, Baja California, is it good to see that bite just going so well right now. Fabulous fishing in Ensenada. The bluefin down there range from, I want to say 15 pounds right on up past 100 pounds. You just don't know what you're going to hook. It's been a lot of that 20 to 40 pound bluefin tuna biting on trolled lures like Mad Max, and there's been fish caught on the poppers, tuna, riot, poppers. Don't forget about how effective those are when you roll up on a foamer. And tuna, riot, poppers are manufactured so well, man, they'll hold up to anything, including 100+ pound bluefin tuna, 150+ pounds. So Ensenada rolling along with some absolutely fantastic fishing. The pongeros have been all over. There's also local yellowtail that have been biting really well in Ensenada. We've got barracuda, sand, and calico bass. Tons of rockfish, if that be what you're after. It's fantastic south of the border right now. I don't know how it can get much better. Outstanding fishing for our long range boys right now, and there's a lot of them on it. In fact, the Royal Polaris got down there. They're on a 7-day trip, and they caught yellowtail, that is. They caught yellows until their passenger said, "Uncle, we've had enough." I mean, guys were tired out by the afternoon. They're on those forkies again today and doing a great job. Really great yellow action for the Royal Polaris here this morning. And they're about ready to say, hey, I think we're going to change it up and go looking for some yellowfin tuna. Great fishing on board the Independence down there, all over the yellows also. Fantastic fishing on board the Intrepid. They've had their share of yellowtail and also some nice big quality yellowfin tuna. So it's great on our 7 and 8 day trips out of San Diego, California right now. Can't get much better than it is. Really fantastic fishing. All right, let's talk bluefin tuna. And we kind of hit on that already, talking about Jeff Lingle down there at 140 miles. But we've got several different zones of this bluefin tuna, as you well know. The western areas up here on the backside of San Clemente Island, out toward Tanner, Cortez, and up toward San Nicolas Island. That fish kind of got in the full moon funk a little bit. At least Jeff Markland on the Thunderbird, who does such a great job. Jeff, it's almost fair time, man. I'll see you there. Once again, Jeff said he thought that stuff got in a funk, so they really focused in on catching big yellows, some sea bass, halibut, good calico bass. They've been doing a lot of that at San Clemente Island. Maybe that light switch will pop back on, because it's certainly, the full moon has not affected that bite on the bluefin tuna down south. As I told you, that Ensenada fish biting really well down there around San Quintin, and closer up the coast we see fish as close as 20 miles from Point Loma that's on the bite. So we do see different reaction from these two bodies of fish, which I think is pretty darn interesting. Also, we'll continue to watch and see what this weather is going to do, because as I mentioned, we have some very breezy weather on our hands right now up in the Channel Islands. Very breezy throughout the sea bass zone. Also some breezy weather inshore. This is all going to be a thing of the past by the weekend. If you're fishing this weekend, no matter where it is, it's going to be gorgeous. There's going to be no wind at all. But here for the next 24 hours at least, we're dealing with some breeze. Some areas worse than others. Right along the coast here, as you can see, it's quite beautiful, and it should remain pretty fishable here along the coast. In fact, definitely it's going to be fishable. It's just when you start to venture out a little bit is when it roughs up and gets a little bit on the windy side. So we'll keep our eyes on that weather situation. Same thing as we move you offshore, like Tanner Cortez is going to be breezy up to around 20 knots. Same thing as we move you down the coast. Hopefully that'll lessen up here as we go along. Fishing that bluefin tuna, nighttime fishing still pretty darn good. Also, the daytime biters on the 30 to 40 pound Fluorocarbon has been working good, and you can hardly beat the day that the San Diego, they are a boat that leaves in the morning out of C4 Sport Fishing, comes back that very same day. You can hardly beat the day they had yesterday, 66 on the Bluefin Tuna, and a tremendous day's fishing, their best so far this year, 30 to 40 pound fluorocarbon. A good hot bait worked really well. Also, some of those small, shiny jigs, fishing 60 pounds on a Daiwa Sakana or a Colt Sniper, also super effective. Man, what a day they had. Fantastic fishing. Mission Bell with 16 anglers, 24 bluefin tuna. There's a mix in terms of the size from 15 pounds to over 100. So you want to gear up for the big fish, because man, I'll tell you, you're throwing that light gear and you get lucky and you hang one that's 120 pounds, you're going to be history if you're not tackled up properly. So don't let some of these smaller fish that you're seeing lull you into a state of complacency. Please don't do that. Make sure you're tackled up and ready to rock and roll. Let's talk about our islands now. Coronado Islands, a few yellowtail down there in that neck of the woods, but it really hadn't been all that great. There's barracuda, calico bass, and rockfish. San Clemente Island, we kind of mentioned that, talking about the Thunderbird, but we've seen some really excellent fishing. Maybe not big numbers, but big fish, big yellows on the dropper loop out there at SCI. There's plenty of rockfish and calico bass. We've been seeing our fair share of that also. That's been absolutely great. And also we have seen some other fish like bonito running around there. Pretty fair fish. And hey, that's my cue to jump in here in post-production and let you know that Jeff Margland is reporting some really nice yellowtail fishing at San Clemente Island this morning. You saw those nice big yellowtail, really excellent fishing, mostly dropper loop, but you can see the grade of Forky on board the Thunderbird here this Wednesday morning as they are nibbling a little bit. So a nice hit here Wednesday morning. I just wanted to break in with this FA special update. At Catalina Island, variety has been the name of the game here recently. May not be a ton of fish in terms of what you're putting in your sack, although normally you're going home with a good sack of fillets, but there's been some yellowtail, barracuda, calico bass, sheephead, whitefish, rockfish, and blue perch galore at Catalina Island right now. It's been pretty good. New San Mateo catching a yellowtail yesterday. We've seen the El Patron catching the occasional yellowtail. A lot of short bass, but enough legals to make it interesting. Also dropping the fluorocarbon down to 15 is the best way to get it done when you are fishing for calico bass or any kind of bass, even this local sandbass, which I'm going to get into with you in a moment here. So some pretty good stuff there. Channel Islands, man, it has been phenomenal. Absolutely crazy good fishing going on in the Channel Islands right now. White sea bass galore. Now this weather may curtail it for a day or so. We'll keep our eyes on it and see where it all goes. But what a trip on board the Mirage. Limits of white sea bass and 14 halibut to go along with it. Crew was great. The fishing on an overnight trip can't get much better. The Endeavor with a huge day. Alan Okita was on that trip, and they had copious amounts of white sea bass and halibut on that trip. Really great fishing. And this Friday morning, our friend from Mag 12 Swim Baits, KJ, is going to be on the Island Spirit. You know how much I love the Island Spirit and Captain Daniel Hadaway. They're going to leave at 5 a.m. on a very special trip and see how they do. Probably going to focus mostly on halibut, but man, you never know. They might get into that sea bass, and by Friday, the weather's looking way better. It's going to be a really lovely morning. 5 a.m. departure, 805-676-3474 to get on the Island Spirit. They're focusing in on halibut here today. If they do anything early, I'll be letting you know here at Friedman Adventures. We'll keep our eyes on that. We'll just keep going north and talk about Avila Beach. That's been great up there on the Rockfish, Monterey. Great rockfish and Lovely Martha Sportfishing. 25 anglers with 50 nice jumbo halibut. Really great hit for them up there. And they also had 31 striped bass, so 31 stripers to go along with that. I don't know how you can beat it on this absolutely beautiful, glorious, look at it. The sun is shining. It's so beautiful here this morning. Get out and go for a walk or come down here and throw a bait in the water and see if you can't catch something, because it can't get any more gorgeous than it is right now. Make sure you share these reports with a friend. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. I should mention also that up there in Santa Barbara, they've had their hits on sea bass and halibut and rockfish. They've been doing really well on all that. And now we'll jump into the local scene so I can talk about what's going on there. Down in San Diego, sandbass fishing is really good right now. I mean, there are some misses from time to time, but overall, it's steady. Really great fishing going on down there out of San Diego. The premiere yesterday morning, limits on the sandbass. The new Seaforth with great fishing on the sandbass, both morning and afternoon. They've been all over it. We've seen the daily double with great fishing down there. Dropper looping it has been a great way to go. We've seen sandbass caught 2 at a time. It's darn good. The best we've seen in not many years, in probably decades. It's steady, it's good, it's fun fishing. It's the best way to introduce a kid or a friend to fishing. These sandbass bite, they're easy to catch, they're fun to catch, and they're great eating. I highly recommend you bring a friend out fishing on one of these trips. And San Diego's biting really well. Up there around Oceanside, a lot of sculpin and rockfish. They've been on some sandbass at times, but it's been a little bit on the slower side. Dana Wharf sport fishing, tons of short calico bass, some legals also mixed in there. So they've been picking away at that. And they've also had some really good sandbass with a lot of short fish in there, but a lot of action. I don't know how you can beat that. On this very beach, on my mother's heavenly birthday, that'll be tomorrow, July the 10th, we're gonna have a Grunion run starting. Don't forget how exciting that is for kids. It's really a spectacle of nature that you should take your kids out and expose them to, because it's fantastic. It'll start tomorrow night, and then it'll go for 3 more nights after that. Total of 4 nights. Grunion here in the Southern California coast. You can take them now. I believe the limit is 30. You can't take more than 30 Grunion, but that means you can come down here during a Grunion run, and the first night, it's supposed to start around 9:30. Usually it's an hour later before you see the mass roll up here, but sometimes 9:30. So tomorrow night, July the 10th, 9:30, you can pick up a Grunion, put it on a hook, and toss it out there. And I'm telling you, let the truth be known, I've been in some really great bites at night on Grunion, so keep that in mind. We'll keep coming up here now, talking about our local fishing. And here in the LA Orange County areas for sandbass, it has slowed way up. It's not the same bite as it was a week ago or so, but there's still some opportunities to catch those sandbass. And dropping the fluorocarbon down to 15, heck, I mean, you can drop it down to 12, and you're gonna even get more bites. I know a lot of guys like to fish a little bit heavier. I'm one of them. But when it comes to bass fishing, you drop that fluoro down. Let's say 15. You're fishing anchovy, so you want like a number 2 hook. And right now, like a sliding egg sinker seems to be working best, like a 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce sliding egg. Sometimes you can go to a dropper loop with a torpedo sinker, depending on wind and current. Talk to the crew, see what's been working best. Dropping that line down, choosing a good hot bait makes all the difference in the world, especially when it's scratchy. Some guys here on boats out of San Pedro and Long Beach have found some decent sandbass fishing. Not that limit style on most trips. I know the guys have missed entirely. It's been slow. There are plenty of sculpin around to entertain you and provide you with some great table fare. But that sandbass bite has backed off. We'll see where it goes from here. Up there in the Santa Monica Bay, same kind of a situation where we've seen a little bit of sandbass and calico bass. Twilights are pretty good on the new Del Mar. They've always just done well up there in that neck of the woods on the twilight trip. So that's still going on. And of course, sculpin, rockfish up there in that neck of the woods will get you up into the Channel Islands. And the gentlemen, what's up with those guys, man? Conking on the big gar for the last 2 days. Excellent local barracuda fishing, calico bass, really great fishing. We mentioned Santa Barbara with some good sand bass fishing. When they focus in on that, it's been pretty darn good also. So that is all really great stuff. Hopefully that's going to continue. Here in the Southern California surf, we've been looking at this warm water, and I am loving it. That warm water produces better and better yellowfin croaker fishing. We'll see more corbina. It should be a great week to come. And these are perfect conditions to be fishing. here right now. Of course, the high tide, since we're at a Grunion run, I didn't look at it. I should have, but I'm gonna guess it's probably around 11 this morning, maybe like 10 a.m., something like that. And that 2-hour period before the high tide until 2 hours after, that 4-hour window is a great time to be fishing. However, guys come down here on this low tide all the time, and you can find pools of water like this. You see how deep that is right there? Pretty deep. There's no doubt that a corbina could definitely be running around in that short water. They love to get up on the beach and forage around for sand crabs and mussels in this short water. Wouldn't surprise me if you saw one right now in this pools of water. But once again, you can find corbina in that short water and some perch also. It can be really, really excellent fishing on that. I'm telling you, this water is so warm, it's looking so good. Big fish, bait, and tackle on the corner of Sea Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They got all your bait, tackle, everything you'll need for a great adventure here in the Southern California surf. They're giving away a free custom surf fishing rod every single month. You can get the details in there, and that's free. You do have to buy their ruler, but that's it. And then you're in. And also, don't forget, they've got everything you'll need for offshore tuna, white sea bass, yellowtail. They've got it all. Big fish, bait, and tackle down there on Bolsa Chica. Our friend Wayne Shima Bakuro said it was slow yesterday. He said he had a really tough time on the artificials. Had some friends that were fishing bait, and they did much better with the bait than throwing, say, a Lucky Craft or throwing a crocodile, something like that. That was Wayne's experience down there yesterday around Bolsa Chica. Up here, I saw some guys picking off some more spot fin croaker. They're fishing with sandworms that they dig up here in the surf and then use those for bait. We've seen some nice corvina. We've seen them taking on ghost shrimp, on mussel. We've seen a lot of the spot fin caught on mussel here recently also, so that's another really excellent bait for you all. And then up as we move up the Santa Monica Bay, we continue to see a little bit of yellowfin croaker. Some days are better than others. Our buddy Mackie was in Redondo yesterday, and he said it's really poor fishing. So it's up and down, but hopefully it'll bite. Sam De La Torre was there a few days ago and had excellent yellowfin croaker fishing up there around El Segundo. We've seen good yellowfin croaker, perch, and also a lot of corbina between the Manhattan Beach and Hermosa Beach piers. It's been pretty darn good. All right, my friends, I don't know what to tell you other than it is absolutely gorgeous. Make sure you go back and listen to Charles Webb, Paraplegic, who's out sport fishing, who's sharing that with others, and you can volunteer to help on one of those events. Look, man, I know nothing about surfing, nothing, but I know how to go down there and rah people and help them get in and out of the water. You can do the very, very same. It'll give meaning and purpose to your life, especially, you know, if you're retired and you're sitting around, man, this is perfect for you. Watch that podcast. I know you're going to enjoy it. Charles is a great guy. He's driving right now down to the East Cape. He's headed to Palmas de Cortez in beautiful Baja California Sur, and he'll be funneling reports in here to Freedman Adventures. I cannot wait for that. All right, have a great one. God, is it beautiful or what? It's sunny, it's warm. It's another beautiful day here in Southern California. Have a great one, and I hope to see you really, really soon.